Hey Aries, I just sat down with your cards. And honestly, I need to share what came through because the energy here is so specific and unusual. Before we get into the reading, I want you to know that if you have been noticing birds behaving strangely around your home lately, circling repeatedly, or showing up at odd times, this reading is absolutely for you. The universe has been trying to get your attention through these small signs, and today we are going to understand exactly what message is coming through. I pulled 10 cards for you today, and each one revealed something important about what is unfolding in your life right now. This is not about predicting some distant future. This is about understanding the energy that is actively building around you and how to work with it. So let me share what the cards showed me. The first card that came out is the Fool. And Aries, this is such a powerful way to begin your reading. The Fool represents new beginnings, fresh starts, and the courage to step into the unknown. What strikes me about this card appearing for you is that it suggests you are on the verge of a completely new chapter in your life. This is not just a small change or a minor adjustment. This is about stepping into territory you have never explored before, taking a leap of faith that requires you to trust yourself in ways you have not had to before. The Fool energy is all about innocence and openness, but it is also about being willing to look foolish in the eyes of others, because you know something they do not. You know that this path, even though it seems risky or unconventional, is the right one for you. The birds circling your home are actually symbolic of this energy. In many spiritual traditions, birds are messengers between the earthly realm and the divine. When they circle, they are marking territory. They are indicating that something important is happening in that space. Your home, Aries, is becoming a launching point for this new journey. What I find really interesting is that the Fool does not come with guarantees. There is no roadmap, no detailed plan. You are being asked to take that first step without knowing exactly where it will lead. For an Aries, this can actually be exciting, because your sign naturally loves adventure and new experiences. But I also sense that part of you might be hesitating. Maybe you have been burned before by jumping in too quickly. Or maybe people around you are cautioning you to be more practical. The Fool is saying that sometimes practicality is the enemy of possibility. Sometimes you have to be willing to leap. The birds showing up are confirmation that you are not alone in this journey. They are telling you that there is divine support for what you are about to do. Pay attention to when they appear, what time of day, how many there are. These details matter because they are part of the language the universe is using to communicate with you specifically. I encourage you to start keeping a small journal of these sightings. You might start to notice patterns that give you even more clarity about the timing of your next move. Now, the second card that appeared is the Knight of Wands, and Aries, this just amplified everything the Fool was saying. The Knight of Wands is pure fire energy, which matches your sign perfectly. This is about swift action, passionate pursuit, and charging forward with absolute confidence. While the Fool is about the willingness to begin, the Knight of Wands is about the how. You are not going to tiptoe into this new chapter. You are going to burst through the door with enthusiasm and determination. What I love about this card for you is that it suggests you will have the energy and stamina to see this through. The Knight of Wands does not start things and then lose interest halfway through. When this knight commits to something, they go all in. They are the person who wakes up excited about their goals, who stays up late working on their dreams, who talks about their vision with infectious enthusiasm. This is the energy that is available to you right now. But here's what you need to understand about the Knight of Wands. This energy is fast, maybe too fast sometimes. This knight can rush into situations without fully thinking through the consequences. They can be so excited about the destination that they do not pay attention to the journey. For you, Aries, the message here is to harness this passionate energy while also building in some awareness. Yes, move quickly. Yes, trust your instincts. But also, check in with yourself regularly to make sure you are still on the path that serves your highest good. The connection to the birds becomes clearer here too. Birds move swiftly, they navigate by instinct, and they can change direction in an instant when they sense danger or opportunity. The Knight of Wands is asking you to be like them. Stay alert, stay mobile, and trust that you have the reflexes to adjust your course as needed. This is not about rigid planning. This is about dynamic movement and trusting yourself to respond to whatever comes your way. I also want to mention that the Knight of Wands often appears when travel is involved, either literal or metaphorical. You might find yourself physically moving to a new place, or you might be embarking on an inner journey that takes you far from where you started mentally and emotionally. Either way, there is movement happening. The stagnation you might have felt recently is about to break wide open. The third card is the Nine of Cups, and this is where things get really beautiful, Aries. The Nine of Cups is known as the wish fulfillment card. This is about getting what you have been hoping for, sometimes in ways that exceed your expectations. When I see this card, I know that the universe is preparing to deliver something you have been asking for, maybe something you have been visualizing or praying about. What makes this particularly powerful in your reading is that it comes after the Fool and the Knight of Wands. This suggests that the new beginning you are stepping into and the passionate action you are taking will lead to genuine satisfaction and contentment. This is not about empty promises or false hope. This is about real manifestation of your desires. The Nine of Cups says that your wishes are being heard and they are being answered. Now, I want to talk about what this means practically. The Nine of Cups is often associated with emotional fulfillment, so this could be related to relationships, creative projects, or personal happiness. You might find that a relationship deepens in meaningful ways, or that a creative endeavor you have been working on finally gets the recognition it deserves. You might simply wake up one day and realize that you feel genuinely happy, that the contentment you have been chasing has finally settled into your life. The birds in this context are messengers of joy. Their presence is announcing that good news is coming. In folklore, birds singing near your home in the morning are considered harbingers of positive developments. If you have been hearing birds singing more than usual, or if they seem particularly vocal around your space, this is them celebrating what is about to unfold for you. But here is the thing about the Nine of Cups that people sometimes miss. This card also asks you to be clear about what you actually want. Not what you think you should want, not what other people want for you, but what genuinely makes your heart sing. The universe can deliver, but you have to be honest with yourself about your true desires. Spend some time getting really clear on this. What would make you feel fulfilled? What does happiness look like for you specifically? The more specific you can get, the more precisely the universe can deliver. The fourth card that came through is the Seven of Pentacles, and this one shifts the energy a bit. The Seven of Pentacles is about patience, assessment, and trusting the process of growth. After all the forward momentum of the previous cards, this one asks you to pause and evaluate. It is like a gardener who has planted seeds and is now standing back to see how things are growing before deciding what to do next. For you, Aries, this card is actually really important because your natural tendency is to keep pushing forward without stopping to assess whether your efforts are actually working. The Seven of Pentacles says that there is value in taking stock of where you are. Look at what you have been investing your time and energy into. Is it growing? Is it developing in the way you hoped? Or do you need to adjust your approach? This card often appears when someone has been working hard on something for a while, and they are starting to wonder if it is worth it. Maybe you have been putting effort into a project, a relationship, or a personal goal, and you have not seen the results you expected yet. The Seven of Pentacles reassures you that growth takes time. Just because you cannot see dramatic progress right now does not mean nothing is happening. Underground, beneath the surface, roots are deepening and strengthening. The bird symbolism connects here in an interesting way. Birds know the seasons. They know when to migrate, when to nest, when to gather food for winter. They have an innate understanding of timing and cycles. The Seven of Pentacles is asking you to develop this same awareness. Understand that there are seasons in your life too. There are times for planting, times for growth, times for harvest, and times for rest. Right now, you might be in a growth phase where the results are not visible yet, but they are coming. What I want you to take from this card is permission to be patient with yourself and with the process. You have planted good seeds. You have been taking action and making efforts. Trust that those efforts will bear fruit, but also be willing to make adjustments if you notice that something is not working. The Seven of Pentacles is not about blind faith. It is about informed patience. Look at the evidence, assess what is happening, and then decide whether to continue on your current path or make strategic changes. The fifth card is the Lovers and Aries. This brings in a whole new dimension to your reading. The Lovers card is obviously associated with romantic relationships, but it is about so much more than that. At its core, this card is about choice, alignment, and union. It is about bringing together two parts of yourself or two aspects of your life in a way that creates harmony and wholeness. On the romantic level, yes, this could indicate that a significant relationship is coming into your life, or that an existing relationship is about to deepen considerably. If you have been single, the Lovers suggest that you might meet someone who feels like a true partner, someone who aligns with your values and your vision for life. If you are already in a relationship, this card suggests a renewal of commitment, a deeper understanding between you and your partner, or a choice to move the relationship forward in some meaningful way. But I think the deeper message of the Lovers for you right now is about alignment between your inner and outer worlds. You have been on a journey of self-discovery, and this card says you are reaching a point where you can bring together different parts of yourself that might have felt fragmented or in conflict. Maybe you have struggled to balance your ambitious nature with your need for emotional connection. Maybe you have felt torn between following your passion and being practical. The Lover says you do not have to choose. You can have both. You can create a life that honors all of who you are. The birds circling your home take on even more significance with this card. In many cultures, birds are seen as symbols of the soul. When two birds fly together, it represents partnership and balance. If you have been seeing birds in pairs, this is a particularly strong confirmation of the Lover's energy. The universe is showing you physically what is happening energetically. Partnership, union, and balance are coming into your life. There is also an element of choice with the Lovers that I want to emphasize. You are going to be presented with options, and the choice you make will significantly impact your path forward. This is not meant to create anxiety. Rather, it is meant to empower you. You have more control over your destiny than you might realize. The cards are not dictating your future. They are showing you the energies at play and inviting you to work with them consciously. The sixth card is Seven of Wands, and this is a card of defense, standing your ground, and maintaining your position despite challenges. After the harmony of the Lovers, this might seem like an odd shift, but it actually makes perfect sense. When you step into alignment with who you truly are and what you truly want, there will always be people who question it, who challenge it, who try to pull you back to where you were before. The Seven of Wands says you are going to need to stand firm in your convictions. You are going to need to defend your choices and your path, not in an aggressive way, but in a clear and confident way. People might not understand why you are making the decisions you are making. They might think you are being impractical or too idealistic, but you know something they do not. You know that you are following your truth, and that is more valuable than anyone else's approval. For Aries, this card feels very natural because you are a warrior sign. You know how to fight for what you believe in. But the Seven of Wands is asking you to be strategic about where you put your energy. Not every battle is worth fighting. Not every criticism deserves a response. Choose your battles wisely and focus your energy on defending what truly matters. The birds here represent vigilance and protection. Many bird species are incredibly territorial, especially during nesting season. They will dive bomb predators much larger than themselves to protect their young and their space. This is the energy you are being asked to embody. Protect what you are building. Protect your peace. Protect your vision. Do not let anyone make you doubt yourself or compromise what you know to be true. I also want to mention that the Seven of Wands can indicate competition or feeling like you are up against opposition. In your career or in pursuing your goals, you might feel like you have to prove yourself or work harder than others to get the same recognition. This card acknowledges that challenge, but also assures you that you have what it takes to succeed. You are stronger than you think, and your determination will carry you through. The seventh card is Two of Swords, and this introduces the theme of difficult choices or feeling stuck between two options. The Two of Swords traditionally shows a blindfolded figure holding two swords crossed over their chest, representing an impasse or a decision that feels impossible to make. For you, Aries, this suggests that despite all the forward momentum and clarity in other areas, there is one situation where you feel uncertain. This could be a decision you have been putting off because neither option feels clearly right or clearly wrong. It could be a situation where you feel like you do not have enough information to make a choice. Or it could be that you are avoiding a difficult truth because facing it would require you to make changes you are not sure you are ready for. What I find interesting is that the Two of Swords appears in the middle of your reading, surrounded by cards of action and movement. This tells me that this period of indecision or stalemate is temporary. You will not be stuck here forever, but right now there is something valuable about this pause. Sometimes we need to sit with uncertainty before clarity can emerge. The birds circling could actually be related to this energy. When you see them going around and around without landing, it can feel frustrating, like, why do they not just land already? But they are assessing the situation. They are making sure it is safe. They are waiting for the right moment. The Two of Swords is asking you to give yourself the same grace. It is okay to not have all the answers right now. It is okay to wait until you feel clear. However, the Two of Swords also cautions against using uncertainty as an excuse for inaction. There is a difference between wise patience and avoidance. Be honest with yourself about which one you are engaging in. If you are waiting for more information or for the right timing, that is fine. But if you are avoiding a decision because you are afraid of making the wrong choice, then you might need to push yourself to move forward, even if you do not feel completely ready. The eighth card is the Chariot, and this is where your reading really picks up momentum again. The Chariot is about willpower, determination, and moving forward with focused intention. After the pause of the Two of Swords, this card says the time for waiting is over. It is time to take control and direct your life in the direction you want it to go. The Chariot is one of the most powerful cards for forward movement in the entire tarot deck. It represents victory through focused effort and the ability to harness opposing forces to work together toward a common goal. For you, Aries, this is incredibly auspicious because it matches your natural energy. You know how to go after what you want. You know how to push through obstacles. The Chariot says that this quality is going to serve you incredibly well in the coming period. What I love about the Chariot appearing after the Two of Swords is that it suggests once you make your decision, once you commit to a direction, everything will start moving quickly. The stagnation will break. The confusion will clear. You will feel like you have been set free to finally pursue what you have been meant to pursue all along. The connection to the birds is fascinating here because the Chariot is traditionally depicted with a figure riding in a chariot, pulled by two sphinxes or horses moving in different directions. The skill is in getting them to work together. Birds in flight have to navigate wind currents, air pressure, and constantly changing conditions. They do this through a combination of instinct and skill. The Chariot is asking you to develop this same ability. Use your instincts, but also apply your intelligence and experience. Trust yourself to navigate whatever comes your way. This card also often indicates travel or movement from one place to another, either literally or figuratively. You might find yourself traveling for work or pleasure, or you might experience a significant internal shift that feels like you have moved from one version of yourself to another. Either way, there is progression happening. You are not going to stay where you are. The ninth card is the Six of Cups, and this brings in the energy of nostalgia, childhood memories, and past connections. The Six of Cups often appears when someone from your past is going to come back into your life, or when you are being invited to reconnect with the innocence and joy of your younger self. For some of you, this might literally mean running into an old friend, reconnecting with a childhood sweetheart, or hearing from someone you have not spoken to in years. These reconnections are not random. They are happening because there is something that needs to be healed, completed, or celebrated between you. Be open to these encounters and see what gifts they bring. But I think the deeper message of the Six of Cups for you is about reclaiming parts of yourself that you might have left behind as you grew up and took on adult responsibilities. What did you love as a child that you no longer make time for? What dreams did you have that got shelved as impractical? The Six of Cups is inviting you to bring some of that wonder and enthusiasm back into your life. The birds here could represent freedom and playfulness. Think about how children react to birds. They chase them, they feed them, they watch them with wonder. There is no agenda, just pure enjoyment. The Six of Cups is asking you to find that sense of playfulness again. Not everything has to be so serious. Not every action has to be strategic. Sometimes you can just do things because they bring you joy. This card also speaks to the importance of your roots and where you come from. You might find yourself thinking more about your family of origin, your hometown, or formative experiences from your past. This is not about dwelling on what was. It is about understanding how those experiences shaped you so you can consciously choose which patterns to keep and which ones to release. The 10th and final card is the Page of Swords, and this is such a perfect way to end your reading, Aries. The Page of Swords is curious, communicative, and always seeking truth. This page is not satisfied with surface explanations. They want to dig deeper, ask questions, and understand how things really work. For you, this card suggests that you are entering a phase of increased mental clarity and communication skills. You might find yourself expressing your thoughts more clearly, asking better questions, or finally understanding something that has confused you for a long time. The Page of Swords is an excellent card for learning, so you might be drawn to take a class, read extensively on a topic, or seek out mentors who can teach you. What I really appreciate about this card appearing at the end of your reading is that it keeps the energy open and curious rather than providing false certainty. The Page of Swords says you do not have all the answers yet, and that is okay. Stay curious. Keep learning. Keep asking questions. The more you open yourself to new information and perspectives, the more you will grow. The birds absolutely make sense with this final card because the Page of Swords is associated with the air element, just like birds themselves. Birds are messengers, and the Page of Swords is all about messages, communication, and information. The birds circling your home are literally bringing you messages from the universe. Pay attention to what comes to you in the next few weeks through conversations, things you read, or insights that pop into your mind seemingly out of nowhere. This card also suggests that you might need to speak up about something. There might be a truth you have been holding back or a conversation you have been avoiding. The Page of Swords gives you the courage and the clarity to express what needs to be expressed. Do not hold back out of fear of how others might react. Your truth deserves to be heard. So Aries, as I look at all 10 cards together, the message is really clear. You are at the beginning of a significant new chapter that will require courage, passion, patience, and clarity. The birds circling your home are not just random occurrences. They are physical manifestations of the spiritual shifts happening in your life. Pay attention to them. Thank them for their messages, and trust that you are being guided and supported every step of the way. This is your time to step into your power, to pursue what makes you happy, and to trust that the universe has your back. The journey might not always be smooth, and you will need to stand firm in your convictions when others question your choices. But you have everything you need within you to succeed. Your natural courage, your passion, your willingness to take risks, these are all gifts that will serve you well. I hope this reading brought you some clarity and encouragement. If you have been seeing those birds and wondering what it means, now you know. They are telling you that change is coming, that messages are being delivered, and that you are not alone on this journey. Keep your eyes open, your heart receptive, and your mind curious about what is unfolding. Beautiful things are ahead for you, Aries.